Thanks to Brad and Taylor for sponsoring this video.
Welcome back to Vide Everything, guys. Today, chuleta cancan from Puerto Rico. Check it out.
And everything starts off with this beautiful cut of meat. If you are unfamiliar with this, you are not alone. It is almost impossible to find this in any regular butcher shop. That's because this cut not only does it include the loin, but also a part of the pork belly. And it is not a very popular cut here in the US. Now, one of the most important part of a chuleta cancan is this right here, which is the skin. We want to get it nice and crispy like crackling. And for that, the Puerto Ricans have a very unique way to do it. But of course, as always, the first thing we need to do is to get the seasoning going. And at least for me, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I like to keep the salt separate from the marinade. So I made sure to add plenty of it so that we do not under-season it with salt. Once that was done, I went ahead and added a good amount of black pepper. As always, remember to season both sides. Now the only thing left to do is to go ahead and add our marinade. And this one is not only delicious, but it is super easy to make, and here's how. As always, remember exact amount and ingredients always on the description down below for you. Into the food processor, I threw in a little bit of culantro. Do not get it confused with cilantro, it is not the same thing. Then I threw in a good amount of garlic, followed by white vinegar, a good amount of olive oil, and a full pack of Sazon seasoning. Now all there's left to do is to blend it well because your marinade is ready. This is the consistency that you should be looking for. Everything is nicely chopped, but at the same time, it is not a paste. The only thing left to do is to apply it to the chuleta cancan. The best way to do so is inside of a bag. The only reason I'm applying this way is so that you can have a better visual. If you're doing it at home, just make sure you add it directly into the bag. Now the only thing left to do is to vacuum seal it and let the marinade does its job. Talking about that, since I have two of them, I'm going to show you two different versions so that you can make it at home. One is going to be the traditional way that they do it in Puerto Rico, and the other one is going to be sous vide. So for the traditional version, you want to let it marinate for at least 8 hours, or better yet, overnight. The very next day, I took it out, opened it up, and check it out what it looks like. You can clearly see that the marinade penetrated nicely and deeply into the meat. That was exactly what I was looking for, because the next thing to do is to boil it. Yes, I know, I said it. That's the traditional version. And you want to let it in the boiling water for 30 minutes. And believe it or not, a lot of dishes in South America actually uses this method. As you can see, once the time was up, I took it out and this is what it looks like. Not very appetizing, right? But hey, we gotta put a good crust on this thing. If not, it's just not gonna be good. And remember that we also gotta get the skin really crispy. And for that, here's where the name cancan comes from. We gotta split the skin like this. If you don't, it's just not gonna be a chuleta cancan. It's gonna be just a chuleta, which translates to pork chops. The next thing we gotta do is to deep fry it. But before doing so, you know that moisture and deep frying are worst enemies. So I made sure that it was as dry as possible. The last thing I want is for hot oil to splatter all over me. Talking about that, I set my oil to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and slowly threw in the chuleta cancan. You want to keep frying it until you get a nice golden brown color. At the same time, be extremely careful with the splattering. Remember, as the fat cooks, those little pockets of moisture will burst. So if you have a splatter guard, use it. I also highly recommend doing this outside. You don't want a mess in your kitchen. But after about 10 minutes, my chuleta cancan was ready. And as you can see, I got a nice, beautiful golden crust. But not only that, the skin also crispened up. Now that is gonna be good. One of the things that you eat this with is actually tostones. And if you've never made them, man, you are missing out. Let me show you how easy it is to make them. These are green plantains. Do not mix them up with bananas. They are completely different from each other. Banana tastes great raw. Plantains, on the other hand, check it out. I can't even open it. This thing is hard. So hard that it is impossible to open. It's much easier to just go and slice it open. As you can see, the inside looks exactly like a banana, but it sure does not feel like one. To take out the skin, they do not peel like a banana. I'm telling you, friends, you cannot get confused with it. There are several different ways to cut the skin off. Just choose the one that is the easiest one for you. Because the most important thing is that once you're done, this is what they should look like. Do not leave any of that skin on. Because the next thing we gotta do is to fry them up. And it is extremely important for you to keep your oil under low heat. Your target temperature should be 300 degrees Fahrenheit, no more than that. You want to cook them for about 15 minutes, keeping an eye on them so that they do not get too brown. Once that's done, you want to take them out of the oil and check it out the color. That is what you're looking for, because the next step is the best one of them all. small, and that's because we gotta smash them. You can use a plate, a cup, anything will work, as long as you get them nice and flat just like this. Now that is starting to look like a proper tostones, because the next thing we gotta do is to fry them up the second time. Now here we're looking for only one thing, to get them nice and crispy. For this, I like to keep my oil at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, because once they are nice and golden like this, your tostones are done. While they're still hot, go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of salt. It is the perfect side dish for chuleta cancan. Talking about that, I'm wondering how the sous vide one is gonna taste. For that, I'm gonna be cooking it at 167 degrees Fahrenheit for 6 hours. And I cannot wait to find out how it's gonna taste.
Before moving forward, I want to thank today's sponsor, Board & Taylor. This sharpener is very fast and an easy way for you to put an edge on your knife. But 98% of the time, you use it to hone or really realign the edge like a chef's steel, but twice as fast. It keeps the blade sharp without removing metal. Not only straight knives, but serrated blades can also be honed and realigned to maintain the edge. This sharpener is all about the unique design and material. The body is almost 2 pounds of solid Japanese stainless steel. These sharpeners are some of the most unique in the world, specially made in Austria by one of the top tungsten carbide manufactured tooling makers. It's the heart and soul of the sharpener. Many other sharpeners of this kind uses inferior tungsten carbide, which does not compare. The classic sharpener sharpens just the same, but with a rugged nylon body and half the price. So go to the description down below, click on the link, and get yours today. Thank you, Board & Taylor, for sponsoring this video, but now let's get right back to it. If there's one thing that I really want you to give it a try besides the meat on this video, is the tostones, everybody. You have to give that a try. It is phenomenal. I mean, I could just eat that every single day. Please, again, don't get confused with banana, all right? It is not banana. At the same time, my chuleta cancan is now ready. As you know, I cooked it at 167 degrees Fahrenheit for a total of 6 hours. It should be nice and tender and ready to go. We are hungry, it is ready, and it's time to take it out. Let's do it. If the smell tells me anything, it should be phenomenal. You saw already the traditional version. The sous vide version first to give it a final crust. That one, I'm gonna put my oil at 425 degrees Fahrenheit because I don't wanna cook it. It's already fully cooked. I just need a nice crust. And please be very careful because when you cook it sous vide, there's a lot of moisture in the meat. That's why it's nice, juicy, and tender. Make sure you either step away, do this outside, or put a cover on it so that you are nice and safe when you're dealing with hot oil, everybody. I'm telling you, I've learned my lesson. Check this out. Exactly. You saw that? Do not let that happen to you. With all that being said, I know my chuleta cancan don't look that good right now, but watch this. All right, everybody, here we have our beautiful feast today. Are you hungry, Mama?
Puerto Rican food today, huh?
Puerto Rican food.
Nice.
Shout out to all the Boricos. That's why, Mama. As you can see, obviously very clear, chuleta cancan. All right, so we have this one here, this one. They were marinated the same way, all right?
Okay.
So I want to know if there's any difference in taste, which one you like better, and all that good stuff. And obviously, huh?
You gotta have it.
Come on, everybody. If you never had tostones, everybody, just make them, all right? It's like potato chips on crack. That's what it is. How you like those tostones?
Oh, man.
Nice and crunchy, a little bit of starch. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If you want, sometimes you put the rice on the side, and you don't eat the rice, and you have tostones. Make sure you put the salt. It's necessary. This is amazing. Highly recommend. Okay, Mama. Here's the deal. We have two of them, and we're gonna find out which one is better, okay?
All right.
Let's go with this one here first. Cheers, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Nice and crunchy. Little chicharronito, everybody.
And the little hint of the marinade on top of it.
Yeah, it does have a little bit of dryness, Okay, because that's the nature of the way that chuleta cancan normally is made. Since you boil it first, then after you deep fry it, so it's kind of a little bit dry.
Yeah, that's why you need a little lime to
Yeah,
squeeze it
a
on
little
top.
lime would be amazing. As a matter of fact, we're gonna get a lime right now. That's a great idea. Well, let's try the Guga version. Yeah, Amo? Now, I can immediately say that the skin is not as crunchy as the other one.
The skin is not as crunchy, and it does feel a little bit softer.
Enough talking, let's try it. Yeah?
Let's go.
Cheers, everybody.
Wow. Wow.
Come on now. This one right here is great. It's what is made traditionally. This one here, you say it, Mama. I'm not gonna say nothing.
That is something completely different.
It is.
It's more moist. It's more flavorful.
Yes.
It tastes more like the pig and the marinade.
This one here, because it was boiled, a lot of the flavor kind of evaporated a little bit.
The flavor of the
and
pig
it's
goes
drier. If you ask me which one would I prefer eating, give me this one here 100%. Mama, which one do you like better?
I like that one.
But if you want that traditional crunch, guys, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with this. Huh?
There's nothing wrong, but
You see that crunch? You're not gonna get that with this one here. Anyway, guys, these are the results. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've never had chuleta cancan, give it a try. I'm sure that you're gonna love it. Definitely try the sous vide version. It will be better. But if you're on a time crunch, do this one. This one works good.
Yeah.
It's the traditional version, everybody, and you're gonna have a great time no matter which one you choose. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe for future videos. Remember, if you are interested in anything I use, everything's always in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
don't forget to do the tostones too.
Definitely, highly recommend tostone time.